Wow.
Actually, no.
Huh.
We can smell the sewage plant.
Can you?
I haven't noticed it.
You probably did when you first moved in, but you get used to it after a while.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
We used to smell something.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
probably what it was.
yeah,
We
probably.
didn't realize it. We're good now.
Okay,
That might be what I said.
so where's my timer?
Oh, timer, do that too. I can't find
Okay,
it. I got one.
okay, cool. Alrighty, so ready, Mark, or whatever, we're starting. Alright, so it's gonna be real informal. I was driving down 17 the other day, and that's why I asked you if you lived down that direction. I was driving to work, and it was a pretty clear day. There was a fog going across, you know where the river goes right there on 17? There was a fog going across the bridge and the river right there, and I thought it was just fog. So I'm driving down the road, and I go through this fog, and I get this god-awful smell. I almost wanted to gag. So I thought, what the heck is this? Well, I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that the landfill's right there, down Dean Forest Road. And it turns out that that wasn't fog, it was smog. And what I was smelling was called methane gas. That's one of the byproducts of having a landfill, some methane gas and a lot of other gases. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about recycling and ways that it helps us be a little bit more environmentally conscious about what we're doing to our environment and how we live here on Earth. I want to share a simple little fact with you that I didn't know until recently. Did you know that the Bible actually has mandates that we recycle? It's true. It's true. Isaiah 2:4 says, "They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore." So it's kind of interesting that the Bible actually tells us that we need to be recycling. Give you a funny little quote from Milwaukee Journal. "Trash, there are no rugs left to sweep it under." I thought that was pretty funny when I read that. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about recycling. And what I want you to know, 3 things in way recycling helps us to be more environmentally conscious. First one, recycling reduces landfill waste. Second, recycling reduces air pollution. And third, recycling reduces our need or use of natural resources. So first, recycling reduces landfill waste. In 2005, according to the Office of the Federal Environmental Executive, 2005 was estimated that 195 million cubic yards of material was recycled. That's a lot. What they did is they kind of said if you put this in a whole bunch of little plastic bins, you get from here to the moon. I think it was like 3 foot by 3 foot bins, and the distance would travel from here to the moon is the amount that we recycled. Every cubic foot of waste that is recycled is a cubic foot of space that's not required in a landfill. Landfills typically are maybe a square mile or so like that, and so everything that we don't put in the landfill enables that to have more space in the landfill. So if we recycle, it keeps it out of there. Recycling reduces the amount of trash deposited, prolongs the life of the landfill. It's kind of side by side. You know, if you don't put it in there, the landfill can last a lot longer. Typically, they last about 10 to 15 years is what they expect before it fills up completely, and then they have to either expand it or build a whole new landfill. So if we don't put the trash in there, the landfill lasts a little longer and it stays a lot smaller. Next, recycling reduces air pollution. I'm going to quote Dr. Steingraber, kind of a hard name to say. She wrote a book called Living Downstream. In this book, she says between 170 and 190 incinerators operate around the country at any given time. Now, incinerators, what they do is they take the trash and they just burn it, pretty much. Well, what happens when you burn things? Smoke is up in the air, all kinds of pollutants go in the air and everything else. So if we get rid of the incinerators by recycling trash, then that smoke's not going in the air and it actually saves on air pollution. Another way that recycling helps reduce air pollution is that it slows down the decomposition process. It's kind of a hard word for me to say. Pretty much what happens when you put all this trash in a landfill, water goes through it, air goes through it, and they cover it up, and a process called chemical decomposition, pretty much the trash just breaks down. And through breaking down, it's a chemical process. So anytime you have a chemical process, you're going to have air pollutions. A lot of chemicals that come out of landfills are methane gas, chloride, carbon dioxide, and stuff like that. So if we don't, obviously, if we don't put the trash in the landfills and it's not decomposing, then there's no air pollution going on there. According to the Agency of Toxic Substances and Disease Registry, the more organic the waste, the more air pollution you're going to have. So if we do things like composting and stuff like that, we get rid of our food waste and our yard waste, put that in a compost, it's going to reduce the amount of air pollution as well. Recycling also reduces dependence on natural resources. I think this is kind of a no-brainer, really, if you want to think about it. If we take something that's already been we take all the raw materials out of the earth, iron ore, trees, whatever it is that we take out of the earth to manufacture something. If we get an end product, say a steel can, and we take that steel can, instead of just throwing it in the trash, if we recycle it and we break it down and we remold it into another steel can, that's less iron ore that we have to take out of the earth. And also, along with that, by not taking stuff out of the earth, by not doing the collection process and the manufacturing process, that also helps cut down on the air pollution as well, because you don't have to go through the entire manufacturing process. Steel Recycling Institute, got some facts about them. They said recycling fewer raw materials are needed to produce the products. At one point, it used to take 140 pounds of material in order to produce 100 pounds of steel. And today, through recycling efforts, it only takes 114 pounds to get the same 100 pounds of material. Recycling also requires less energy to produce the same product, since you don't have to use all the fossil fuels for the trucks, for the machinery that's going to take the stuff out of the earth and everything. So it's going to reduce our need on natural resources. So today, it was kind of fast, but today we covered recycling reduces landfill waste, it reduces air pollution, and also reduces our dependence on natural resources. So through those, we can see that recycling is very important. And what I wanted to share with you today is that Savannah is instituting a new recycling program. It's called Curbside Pickup. And I think what they're going to do is give us cans that we can stick out there, and we can stick all our recyclables in that. And that's going to reduce on the city's amount of money that they have to pay the trash collectors, because now they're not going to have to sort through the stuff at the landfill as well. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that there's a new program coming in Savannah, and if we join it, we can help take care of our environment. Thank you.